Hey, you naughties. Hello, naughties. I see you. I believe you. But you eventually will die by DK's hand. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to part 41 of Donkey Kong 64. This part is purely for the extras. Purely the extras before the end here. So, let's get to said extras. Now, like I said, there are a lot of animations for the main menu because they put a lot of effort into just the menu itself. Like the time changes, it might start raining, there's like enemies in the background doing stuff, people messing with DK and all that, you know, all that great stuff that comes with, you know, a really fun main menu, which I really like. I really like that. It's great. It's really good. Anyway, some of the other options here for the main menu, you have screen size, widescreen, which is what I've been using throughout all of this. You can set the Chimpy Cam. You can reset the high scores, which we'll talk about later. You can automatically skip cutscenes in the story, like you can skip the intro cutscene, or rather, it automatically skips the cutscenes. It doesn't give you the option to, well, you know, press a button to skip the cutscenes, but, you know, it's fine. This was long before the days of press blah 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 to skip cutscene. Over here you can do the sound, which is, you know, your standard stuff. You can do stereo, surround, and then mono. But who does mono? Come on. You can set the sound effects and the music so you can just hear the ambient sounds of the game. Or you can purely just listen to the music, which I've messed around with a lot in my day. I have messed around with all this stuff a lot. And of course you can reset the default if you want. Now, I highly regret to inform you that this game's multiplayer won't be shown, but instead will be talked about because, why? Why can't you play against computer programs? Yeah, why can't you play against computer programs? I mean, come on, man. I don't understand. I don't understand, dude. But regardless, yes, DK64 comes with multiplayer, which, you know, I can't show because A, they really should have just put the gamepad and the Wiimote as separate controllers. That's literally the only reason why that should be a thing. Because, yeah, like, I only really dabbled into multiplayer a fair few amount of times. But what I remember of the multiplayer, it was pretty good. Like, the Battle Arena is just basically like, you know, well, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but, or rather, I will correct myself. Battle Arena, you just basically face off against each other in a Battle Arena style, you know, stuff like you do in all the other games, or all the other times where we had to fight, you know, all those Kremlings for the Battle Crown. And then you have Monkey Smash, which is basically, you know, a game of survival, coin hoard, you know, all that stuff. I should really turn off my phone. Thank you. And, you know, yeah, just survival, capture the flag, capture pad, all that fun stuff, you know. I'll just simply put a link to, you know, everything in the description. And it even comes with alternate colors too. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. I'm just cycling through all of them because I want to. Seriously, why can't you play against computer AIs? Like, seriously, why can't you? That's so dumb. These N64 multiplayer games, aside from, you know, Mario Party and Smash and Mario Kart, they weren't really that good in letting you do all the multiplayer stuff. No. But what is really cool is the mystery. Banana Fairies do more than just give you refills and expand, yeah, I know, expand your crystal coconut supply. They also unlock some really cool extras. For 2 banana fairies, you unlock the DK Theater, which basically means you get to watch every cutscene. Yes, every cutscene, including the ones that we haven't run into yet, because, well, spoiler alert, there are cutscenes, you know, during and after the final battle. So, yeah, it's gonna be a thing. But yeah, you can view all the cutscenes here. For 6 banana fairies, you unlock DK bonus. So aside from the usual stuff like DK Arcade, which lets you play the Donkey Kong arcade game, and Jetpack, you also have 2 exclusive minigames. You have Rambi Arena and you have Endguard ability, yes. Let's check out the Rambi Arena first. I almost said Rambi ability. Jesus. I am so... yeah. Hit the moving targets to increase your score. So, yeah, if you couldn't really tell, this is basically just a score attack mode where you have to kill as many naughties as you can. The blue ones hit for 2 points. If you can get them in a combo, they get, you know, ×2, you know, etc. And if you manage to hit a big one, then those are worth 10 points. So, yeah, that's, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Basically a way to, you know, get your high scores up on Nintendo 64 Live. Yeah, because, you know, obviously we as gamers today need to care about, you know, points, right? Like, who has the biggest gamer score on Xbox Live? I clearly don't. Because, joke's on you, I barely play Xbox these games aside from Halo. Yeah, and you can just continuously kill the naughties. And if you couldn't really tell, I already have a high score of 172. Because I had to practice this game before we got here. You can ignore that for right now. I'll just edit it out. Alright, so, yeah, that was the Rambi Arena, but now let's check out the Endguard Arena. You gotta swim through the stars in order to increase your score. I still stand by my point that Endguard is kind of hard to control because he's kind of fast. So, yeah, he turns, like, really quickly. Like, it's odd. It's really odd that this would be the one animal buddy that would be the very hard one to control. I mean, in the original, like, Super Nintendo games, Endguard is not really that hard to control. Like, considering you're just a 2D platformer, you need a way to, well, swim faster in those water levels, and Endguard was just basically there to be that. And yeah, I don't know if he really works in 3D. I don't know about that one, Chief. But what I do know is that, you know, both Endguard and Rambi's arenas, they're basically fun ways to get your, you know, score up, or maybe to just practice with those animal buddies since you don't really get to control them a lot. I mean, Endguard we only got to control once. So, yeah. We had more screen time with Rambi than we did with Endguard, which is sad. For 10 banana fairies, you unlock boss rematches. There's the jungle boss, Aztec boss, factory boss, galleon boss, forest boss, caves boss, and then castle boss. Obviously, the final boss was left out because you can rematch, you know, let's just say King K. Rool. You can rematch King K. Rool, you know, anytime you want. Because it's pretty obvious who the final battle is going to be. But yeah, this is something that I really find amazing in games that, you know, yeah, you can rematch bosses in games. Any game that allows you to rematch bosses is amazing. I would know. One of my favorite games of all time, one of my top tier favorite games of all time, Majora's Mask has it. And my favorite game of all time, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, lets you do the time attack mode. And what I'm assuming, since I haven't even made it that far yet, to rematch bosses, which is pretty neat indeed. But yeah, you can just basically rematch all the bosses you want, since you only get to really face them once in the story mode. So that's really cool. That is really cool that games allow you to rematch bosses. For 15 Banana Fairies, you unlock Crusha as a character. May not seem like much in the grand scheme of things, but, you know, we haven't even seen Crusha in this game. This is one of the more stronger Kremlings of K. Rool's army. And he's just a multiplayer character, so that's pretty cool. I don't really know if he has any different attributes to all the other Kongs or not, but I'm pretty sure the videos I link in the description will more than suffice for all of your questioning needs, I guess, and I suppose. So, the ability to unlock Crusha as a character, or rather have Crusha on as an unlockable character, may not seem like much compared to, you know, rematching bosses or just freely playing, you know, DK Arcade, Jetpack, and viewing all the cutscenes. You know, that may not seem like much, the 15 Banana Fairy reward, but the one for getting all of them is something else entirely. Cheats. All cheats on or off. This is amazing because you basically have the ability to get infinite coins, infinite ammo, infinite oranges, infinite film, infinite crystal coconuts, which cut off at the bars of the screen, infinite instrument energy, or all of them. Yeah. Let's take a look at that glory. Let's take a look at that gloriousness before we move on. So, yeah, we're gonna utilize my practice file for this. So yeah, take a look at that. Look at that, 999 coins, which we don't even need anymore. Infinite, you know, instrument energy, you know, infinite film. That is cool. That is very cool. And since the homing shots for the weapons override the regular ones, you basically have unlimited homing shots. Yeah, would you look at that? Now, this is a fun way to break DK64. I mean, if DK64 wasn't already broken enough because, well, in terms of one aspect, I still find the coins aspect, you know, very broken once you find that move, once you unlock that move on Banana Fairy Island, which allows you to uncover those mounds of dirt, you know. So yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing that you can do, and it's awesome. But now I'm gonna quit out of my game because, well, I want to keep that stuff off. I don't cheat, man. I don't cheat unless games deserve cheating. I am looking at you, Turok Dinosaur Hunter. I don't really enjoy looking for those keys, man. And also, to an extent, Doom 2, because, you know, finding those key blue, yellow, and red skulls are kind of a bitch. This is just my life, Jesus. That's just my life, man. Also, very fond of DK64 to keep track of your playtime. Like, in this grand scheme of things, like, it took me about 18 and a half hours to get every single, you know, golden banana. And, in this file, it only took me 16 hours. So, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. By the way, now it's time to break DK64 even further. Because we're going to talk about some really cool stuff that you can do when it comes to DK64. Now, I am not aware on how to do all of this fancy glitch maneuvering stuff because I'm not that good at, finding, regular sort of glitches. But what I'm attempting to do here is I'm attempting to go under DK Isles via the swimming pool, via swimming from shore to here. Now, I don't know exactly how this works. Like, from my understanding, what you're supposed to do is swim at a very specific spot. Like, I don't know if it's, like, specific in a way that, if the water level gets steep enough, or basically swim to the point where you can go underwater, basically. I don't know if that's even a thing or not. Actually, yeah, it is, because I just saw the video of it, and I can't for the life of me just can't get it to work. But basically, if you're very successful in doing this glitch, you can go under DK Isles. However, it goes a step further than that. It really goes a step further than all of that. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay. So swim under here, but swim slowly. Yeah! Yeah, there it is. Thank you, camera. Thank you. Can you get it? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So I'm gonna make a... should I? Yeah, I should. Because it took me a little bit to, figure it out. But yeah, you can go under DK Isles if you want. And it actually goes a little step further than this. I believe if you go up here we go. If you go up to this certain spot right here. So, this little area that we're in right now is the control room for the Flying Croc, which is K. Rool's ship. We saw in the last video that he tried to escape from this very ship. And, yeah, this is basically an area that you can interact with, technically. This is really cool. And you probably want to definitely break out of this. If you're not really that good at breaking stuff, then... Oh, there it is! Walking under stuff! Look at this. Look at this. This is DK64 in its purest form. This is it, baby. Yeah, this is fun. This is really, really fun. But yeah, DK64 has a lot of glitches like this, and I'm not going to mention every single one of them because I can't, for the life of me, figure out how all this works. So, yeah. That's basically one way to access some things that you can't really access in this game. But I'm going to tell you of another thing that you can technically do. So... you want to go over to Snide's HQ at Creme Isle. Yeah, there we go. I accidentally fell off, but it was all part of my plan. Now, definitely make a restore point here if you want to do this, because I'm actually amazed that this is even in the game to begin with. I saw footage of this, but I didn't really think it's possible. Mission complete, Kong. Let's deal with K. Rool now, shall we? Yeah, no, you're not going to do that. So, basically highlight any minigame with this, and then press A and B at the same time. Behold! Behold! Additional stuff! So, this is a room clearly made for testing the game's animations and all that good stuff. Now, the model of DK that you see right here is actually one of the models from the menu, I believe. So, yeah, it's not really an object. It's not programmed as an object, so you can just simply, you know, face through reality and become one with the dong. They have become one. Yes, I absolutely agree with this. I agree. Yeah, so this is a room clearly made for testing the game and testing out the game's animations and all that good fun stuff that comes with programming games. But you might want to just not, because, well, you can't pause the game in order to get out of it. You can't, you know, kill yourself. You can't do anything. Actually, I'm wondering if you can technically, you know, kill yourself with this. Oh, no! No, you can't. Okay, okay. See, I'm learning new things about this game already, and I actually didn't even know this even existed until, like, recently, so... Yeah. This is really neat and all, but, you know... It completely locks you into that place, so you might as well forget. You might as well forget it. Yeah, you might as well forget your life, because that's not going to happen. That is definitely not going to happen at all. But, regardless, let's get fully healed up here. And let's overlook a good little scenery as we talk about some other things about DK64 that actually kind of remind me to go over to the cutting room floor on the interwebs, because DK64 has some really interesting factoids about it when it comes to, you know, other stuff, mostly involving Game Shark. Yeah, remember that? Remember Game Shark? That cheating device that came before Action Replay? Remember that? Please note, the following is directly from cuttingroomfloor.net, or rather, tcrf.net. So, these are their words, not mine, and I'll add my own opinions to all this. And this is something I genuinely did not know about, like, all of this until very recently, so I'm still very fresh off the discoveries. So, apparently, Donkey Kong 64 was originally intended to be compatible with the Banjo-Kazooie Stop and Swap feature. Yeah, remember that? Like, remember the Ice Key and the Mystery Egg and all that? Yeah, the Ice Key was actually originally going to be in this game, but it was removed. However, it technically still exists in the game's code. So, if you ever wanted to try it out with a Game Shark and enter, you know, the Game Shark codes, which, you know, I'll have a link to all the information from cuttingroomfloor.net in the description, then you can do that. However, the Ice Key itself isn't an object in the game. It's not a menu object, it's not anything, so... yeah, it's definitely a thing that's probably the most interesting to me. And now on to the less interesting stuff. And did you also know that DK64 was originally going to have 4 melons of health instead of 3 as the maximum? So during normal gameplay, it's only possible to have up to 3 melons. 3 melons was the maximum you could ever have to be ever upgraded. By using the infinite health Game Shark code, the life bar will show 4 melons. So that could have been, you know, a DK64 thing in the final game. If you disable the infinite health code, the melons will be kept. So 4 melons. And to my knowledge, it doesn't really crash the game or anything. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool that originally they probably were going to have 2 melons of health instead of just 1. These are unused graphics. Yikes. What is that employee head? What is that? I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. Like I previously said, in the mystery bosses menu, there was going to be an option for the final boss, but instead it was removed because it probably would have been way too redundant. Under mystery cheats, there was also going to be a option called debug POS. That's POS. Turning it on doesn't really do anything though. There's also going to be a language select in the game's code too. However, using that Game Shark code is gonna make you regret your life. While language selector was used in the European versions, North American only had English. And if you wanted to change the game's language, then you can go right ahead, but just so be aware that it will crash the game. Now, here's something that's actually really interesting. So, the Trough and Scoff menus, or the Trough and Scoff boss rooms, they have check marks under them should you complete one. Regularly, you wouldn't be able to even access the Trough and Scoff rooms after you've beaten the boss in the main story. However, if you somehow hack your way in there, you probably want to hack your way through the Trough and Scoff room that's near Cranky's lab in Angry Aztec. You can, by somehow hacking your way through that, you would be able to actually, enter that room, and then you would see that there is a check mark where you beat the boss. So that's a handy little way to it, I don't really know how this is a thing, but, that's cool. Also, there's a Trough and Scoff hideout helm room. Yeah, there's a Trough and Scoff hideout helm room that is available without hacking. However, entering said boss door will make you fall out of the pipe next to the power hut in Frantic Factory. So, yeah, don't even try it. For King Cutout, the boss that we faced last, there is an unused 4th phase. And this is all information that is probably going to be, very tech-savvy and blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to try to explain it the best I can. With some light memory hacking, it is possible to view an unused 4th phase of the King Cutout fight in Creepy Castle. What determines the phase is a 1 byte value at the pointer for the tag barrel cutout object plus 0 times 18A. Setting this value to 3, phase 4, in parentheses, after the 2 firing laser sections will result in King Cutout moving like he is in phase 4. Values depicting phase 5 and beyond will default to the pattern that is used for phase 2. What's on screen right now is the internal file names for all of the levels. I kind of like how Creepy Castle is named Spooky. And the first 3 levels, Jungle Japes, Angry Aztec, and Frantic Factory, are all named Jungle Stuff, Temple Stuff, and Toy Stuff. There is actually anti-piracy in this game, and again, I'm quoting Cutting Room Floor here. If the game doesn't detect a 6105 or 7105 lockout chip, it will randomly erase all save data. Most backup devices usually piggyback off of another cartridge containing a 6102 or 7101 lockout chip, which activates the anti-piracy function. So, yeah, at least they didn't really make it a dick move by crashing the game when you entered the final battle like Earthbound did. And finally, we have regional differences. Regional differences are definitely a thing. First of all, the international Nintendo logo is red. The Japan one is silver and it's shiny. Woo. As you would expect, the North American version removes several glitches that the European and Japanese versions use in terms of speedrunning, which probably is why most people tend to use the Japanese games to speedrun games, because most of the glitches haven't been removed. Like, for example, the swim through walls glitch has been removed in the European and Japanese versions. And, yep. I don't know if it's the same glitch as going under DK Isles, but, you know, it's a thing. The font for the DK wrap is actually different. That's it. And finally, for regional differences that I find interesting, the propellers on K. Rool's ship were changed! Woo! Red is cooler! Of course, this is all very minor info, but, you know, it's fine. And finally, Virtual Console. I've already mentioned before that the frame rate has indeed been fixed up in several places. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna be any harder for stuff like Crazy Con Clamor and also the Rabbit Race. Yeah, some things were clearly intended to run at a lower frame rate for all of this, including Crazy Con Clamor and the Rabbit Race, which is probably why in the Virtual Console releases they are labeled as sort of impossible. However, on the topic of that, there's actually something that you can do if you want to make it easier for yourself, the Rabbit Race. So, let's go over to Fungi Forest, you know, because, you know, why not? Why not? We might as well kick the ass of the rabbit once again. I mean, Lord knows why I would ever want to race the rabbit again, the racing rabbit again, but hey, you know, I might as well do it to rub it in, if it's even there. He's not there. Ding dong, the witch is dead. He's really dead. Oh my god. He's like gone. The very last thing that we saw was him giving the golden banana to us. I am secretly very thankful. Okay, so if you want to make this race easier for yourself, at least on the Virtual Console release, what you would want to do is you would want to let the racing rabbit beat you, but don't skip through the text. It's very important that you don't skip the text. Once he goes through all this dribble of, you know, hey, I beat you, try again next time, loser. The game will let you control it, will let you be in control for a little bit. And that will give you the prime opportunity to go into the lanky barrel so that you can get the orangutan sprint in right away. That way you can get a pretty huge head start on him. So yeah, that's a neat little trick that you can do. If spinning wasn't a good trick, then, you know, utilizing cheats will be a good thing because, you know, screw him. Yeah, screw him. But yeah, that's pretty much it for, you know, all the extra stuff that I find relatively interesting about DK64. Like, probably the most interesting aspects to me for finding all this information is probably the testing room and the fact that this was going to be connected to Banjo-Kazooie in some way. I mean, I guess nowadays, now DK and Banjo are more connected than ever before thanks to Smash Bros, but, you know, hey. If it works, then it works. If they're connected, if everything's connected, then I don't know what's not connected, man. Nintendo should have a cinematic universe, goddammit. But anyway, that's about it for all the extra stuff that I wanted to talk about. Again, you can find the information in the description of this video if you ever wanted to look it up. Very fascinating stuff. And again, cuttingroomfloor.net. Very helpful source of information. But anyway, next time on DK64, we finally take the fight to K. Rool. He's in there, somewhere, and we're going to find him, and then we're going to punch him in the face. See you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.